What I'm seeing is very powerful here that you want to be aware of is all of these planets are coming to Pluto and going to be closing chapters, going to be closing cycles and beginning new cycles in relationship to Pluto. And Pluto is the depths of psyche and soul, where we really purge, where we really reach in and access truth, and we see where we're attached. We see where our power is. So when you look at your own chart from the lens of Pluto, you see where your power is and where your power has been held up, so to speak. That we are who we are. We have created a lot of soul focus, even ego focus in certain orientations, and that is where we gravitate. And then we have our destiny, our evolution, where our soul is actually wanting to pull us towards to become more of ourselves, essentially, right? So Pluto and the Pluto polarity point, south node of the moon and the north node of the moon. And we look at all this and we see, yes, this is how I am. This is who I've been. These are the patterns that I see over and over. And these are my skills. This is what I'm good at. This is what I know. It's been a long time in the making, right? And so we can take it from like lifetimes of this journey, and here we are now still like rolling with it, right? We can see all these things in the Pluto and the north and south nodes of the moon. And Mars is the lower octave of Pluto, Pluto being the higher octave. So they carry this, they are in a co-partnership in a sense, right? And so Mars is this activator of our desire. When we track Mars through our chart, we see where the evolutionary journey of our desire, of where we are feeling activated in how this is where I need to evolve now. So wherever this is happening, Capricorn in your chart, this Mars is showing you where are you needing to change things, take it to the next level, shift things a bit in relationship to your soul purpose. It essentially, Mars is this active force, this fierce, instinctual power and quality within us. So in transit, in movement, it is going to represent how much of your soul power and personal power is going towards reacting to what is, and how much of your soul power and purpose is going towards activating your truth, your desire, your intention, what you're here to create and experience and be, right? So we know, we feel it, we are all in this evolutionary journey of being and becoming, evolving, moving forward, moving towards what we desire, what we dream of, what we want, what we vision, right? It's this creative potential, this creative process that we live with. We are the creators, right? We get to create our worlds. And, amidst all the forces that are around us, other people, and that we are in a co-creative dance with the creator, with divine, with the cosmos, right? January 19th, the moon conjuncts Pluto, okay? And right behind the moon is Venus, then the sun, then Mercury, then Mars. So this cycle that I'm showing you of Mars having a balsamic conjunction to Pluto, ending an entire 2-year cycle, coming to the end. And what I want you to understand is that the balsamic conjunction is an activation of wisdom. It is the culmination of the end. It is Pisces. It is the dark moon. It is when the fruition of all that has been experienced is now being metabolized, integrated into being. And what happens when we get conscious with our experience? When you stop and get present with what have you accomplished? What have you experienced? What courage have you cultivated? What knowledge have you gained over these past couple of years in regard to how you are creating, manifesting your life and taking, leadership, taking charge of your agency? What has come of that? You have gained so much wisdom. You have grown. And so these weeks that we are in are about metabolizing and allowing that to move through you, because when the new cycle begins, it will be like reset, go. Take it all, take all the wisdom, all that you've become, all that you are, all that you know now, and go forth. This is a brand new cycle, right? So here's where we are. And not only is it just Mars coming to this conjunction, and then it will move from a closing balsamic conjunction to a new phase conjunction. And conjunctions in and of themselves are super potent and powerful. They are the culmination of a 360-degree journey, right? So it's like the hero's journey. They're returning home and have returned home resourced, seriously resourced. So I just want you all to recognize that within yourself, to really honor it, to take the pause to, like gather the, celebrate, honor, gather the resources, you know, and allow it to be, like we say, the compost for the garden that's coming, right? All of this is all your experience, all your wisdom is the compost for what's coming next, for what you're going to create in 2026. So this week here, January 19th, the moon comes to Pluto, and then the next day, Venus on the 19th comes to Pluto, passes Pluto, starts its new cycle. So again, Venus and Mars. Venus is in relationship to love, to partnership. Your relationship to yourself is changing because Pluto is death and rebirth. So on another level, all these planets coming to Pluto is a death and rebirth cycle, the death and rebirth experience. So this week, the last, week and a half or so of January is this real death and rebirth or purge or renewal experience that you get to harness in yourself. And so feeling moon, feeling the release, feeling the new beginning. Venus is relationship to self, like, yes, cleared that out, establishing, seeding new intentions within your relationship to self and love. What I'm bringing here from this perspective is that Mars, this potent force of power and purpose, is activating you in this way. Whatever house in your chart, whatever planets it might be contacting and activating, that is where you're being called to make some serious changes, to see where the holding patterns are, that you are given now a very powerful opportunity, the potency of nature, of the cosmos working in alignment to release, because we are coming to the close of a powerful cycle. Mars is going to come to Pluto and end a 2-year cycle. So we're coming into the balsamic phase. We're coming into the culmination, the fruition of a 2-year cycle of how we have been in relationship to our source power and personal power, how we've been taking action with our willpower, with our courage, and actualizing ourselves, actualizing our desire and what we want in life. So that we are coming to the close of that cycle in our consciousness, and we are stepping into a brand new cycle of consciousness in relationship to how we are actualizing ourselves. And I'm feeling it. And I'm sure many of you listening right now are feeling it too. I am feeling, what is Mars? It has a lot to do with our identity, right? How we take action, our instinctual pulse that comes from where? What is your desire? Yeah, we have ego desires, but below that, the desires of our soul. I want certain things, right? We all want different things. We share commonalities, of course, but what are the core deep in your heart things that you truly want, that you've come to experience? And maybe you haven't allowed yourself them. Maybe, there's self-worth and value and all the issues that come with the human experience being conditioned away from who we truly are and what we truly want. But when we overcome that, when we recognize that, when we become more sourced in our sovereignty and we know that we are actually beyond that we have power beyond all of the conditioning, what are you here to create? What is your purpose, your destiny? What is it that you feel is your truest desires that you're here? So that is coming to the closure of a cycle as Mars comes to close its cycle with Pluto, and it's going to create a reset, a brand new cycle. And so I was saying, I'm feeling this, how I have been in my identity, my power, my purpose, my leadership, Capricorn, for the past 2 years has gone through its evolution. And I am definitely finding myself up leveling, like the video game, to the next level and how I'm relating to all of that. And so this is the opportunity we have now, becoming aware of the timing of this. You can see we are in the last few weeks of this 2-year cycle of closing. We can observe this in the collective consciousness, in our own consciousness, this awakening of Neptune having transited through Pisces for the past 14 years, which is, we can see it, how we have awakened more to our own spiritual connection. And in a lot of ways, there has been the rampant delusionment, right? The God complexes and the other things that we're seeing in mass on the planet that have been gradually peaking out. And so we're seeing a lot. And it's 29 Pisces point is an extreme energetic and frequency. So we have seen that symbolism is representing, and we have seen a lot of extreme. And so what is happening is, as Neptune, well, I'm also really tuning into and talking about that we have entered a new spiritual era, right? We can see this, we can feel this. There is much more of people awakening to their own spiritual connection, also to our sovereign self, to the God self, Pluto in Aquarius, to that we are the creators, to that, yeah, we have our leadership, our self-led realities.